So what's up? Where did we leave off? Like from last time, we were just talking about Fort Bragg and glass and stuff like that.
Yeah, the glass palace on Fort Bragg and all that crazy shit.
Yeah,
Um, I think we left off around there somewhere, but yeah, I don't even know.
gravity being what it is,
Yeah, but I
dude.
mean,
Like,
we're
there's go for it.
not you.
Well, I was gonna say like there's been a lot of like I was talking to Toby. We're gonna invite him on, and
Yeah, I can't wait.
yeah, and dude, I was trying to tell him that this is like this process of just like talking about Tartaria, um, like mud flood, volcanoes, back roads, the whole fucking thing. Some like because he's like super into this, like, oh, every thought like goes onto this mainframe. But I'm like, well, dude, what's even weirder is that like once you like put this out onto this, it got like the whole the whole rest of like consciousness kind of like links up, and then you start seeing like more and more people like kind of talk about the same things you
Mhm.
think about. It's a healthy thing, right? You know what I mean?
Totally. No, for
And
sure. And
yeah,
dude, for like my whole life, fucking, I've kept the cards close to chest. I've always just,
right.
not said more than needs to be said. And just this whole process of like making videos and doing like this whole thing and doing this with you too is like it's such a trip. Like I wouldn't fucking be doing this if it didn't mean something to me and didn't think we were actually going somewhere with it. It's like insane. Like I would have never, I've gone through every fucking conspiracy theory fucking, for the last fucking
Yeah,
25, 30 years. And I've
yeah,
never like put it out, any of it out there, whether I believe it or not. But here I am with this, like
yeah,
making videos and putting shit out there, you know,
dude,
like,
pretty rad.
yeah, it
'Cause
is
I
rad.
remember on the
And like, it's like with playing music though, fucking, the more you play with people, the more you learn and the more you get inspired and the more you see new
yeah,
things. And it's awesome to do this.
it's
It's a big
power
learning.
metaphor.
Totally, and
Yeah,
yeah, man, it's awesome. You go back and like listen to some stuff you did, and like you forget about these threads you were on at the time because you are now, and it's like, oh
right.
shit, I forgot about that. That actually fucking ties back into this fucking whole nother trip I'm on right now.
Well,
So
it's
yeah,
like
it's
the
cool.
sinks are gnarly, right? Because I
Oh,
remember when
dude,
because
insane.
I try to tell I try to go, oh, like because someone will ask me, they go, well, because a lot of people don't think that there's a lot of people out there that think about this stuff. So it's like like when you posted that one picture on like your original lunatic dolphin,
Hmm.
and I was just like, I remember seeing it and going, oh, okay. I remember
Yeah.
calling you and going, I don't know, it was like maybe a couple years back. I remember calling you and just
Oh
going,
yeah.
how far are you? And you're like, oh, all the way. And I'm like, yeah, dude. And like it was
Oh
just like
yeah.
all these people. And I'm like, see, that's the crazy thing about like like the mental like thing about it is that like it's like all of these things are kind of like it's so rad when you finally go, oh yeah, where you can almost like see where like Atlantis and all this thing is like a super like magnetic pull toward like it all, right? And then the closer you get to the idea of something being like a solid idea, it kind of bounces to the next thing, like almost like quantum mechanics, almost in a sense, where just like that thought is bouncing up against some other thought. That's what's so wild about
Totally.
it. Like, I mean, and the point is that like there are some people that take it like completely serious, you know what I mean? And then their personalities kind of come through in like a weird way where you're just like, oh no, dude, it's like a, it's like a, like if you're trying to tell a joke in front of people or something like that and you bomb, like, and you're like, oh man, but I really feel like something's there though. You know what I mean? I really feel that this is funny. And then like you bomb the first time you put it out there, but then the second time you put it out there, there's just like one person in the crowd, like a guy that's like had like 3 shots over his limit that goes, ha, ha, and you're like, oh, huh? Like, okay, maybe that
Okay.
guy's just wildly drunk, but I just woke up his consciousness with like my thought process. And maybe that's all it is. Maybe like until finally that one laugh made someone else chuckle. And then all of a sudden everyone kind of gets into gets into it. Like, so then you win the room a little bit with your joke. You're
Totally.
like, oh man, I knew something was there. I knew something was there.
Yeah. I
And
mean, you
like,
got to break the
that's
ice
what, you know?
sometimes. Yeah.
Huh?
You got to break the ice sometimes, you know,
Got to break
just
the ice. You gotta
have that one laugh to make everyone else know it's okay to laugh.
like it
And
almost just
boom,
like
you're
mix
in.
up the consciousness. You know what I
Totally.
mean?
Yeah.
And
You know,
even if it's like one silly drunk dude, then boom, the next person might just be like
yeah, it's
some like
fine.
right wing like fucking nut. But then he's just like, yeah, man, it ain't that. We're all laughing. We're all the same, you know. I don't
No,
know. Yeah,
no, I mean, it's killer, man. I mean, as much of the evils of all this technology and all this shit, I think this is one of the like the non-evils is like being able to get together and chop it up. And really it's like it's philosophized. Like, you know, they talk about, back in the day, like before people had jobs, like basically they just fucking hung out and
yeah,
philosophized about shit, basically.
right.
And
Well,
like
dude,
that whole
yeah,
thing has been taken away since we've been so busy having to fucking work to survive. But like, I fully embrace, even though, whatever we're doing this on, on this technology I don't fucking care about. But I'm
yeah,
like, I fully embrace it because it's like, this is what we should be doing. We should be
right,
sitting around a campfire,
right,
just talking and philosophizing about everything,
right,
and like
right.
they've taken this from us so much. And so
Yeah,
I just have been kind of like, fuck it, dude, let's go.
yeah. Exactly. Well, also it's like you can use like an analogy of like being in a canoe, fucking canoeing down a river and just being like doo 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 doo, and it's like scary because you're by yourself. And then all of a sudden you see another person canoeing, like, oh, hey, good morning. And you're like, whoa, we're canoeing together. And now
Yeah,
you're like, oh, look at. And then
yeah,
that person goes, hey, have you checked out this? And you're like, oh, what are you talking about? Let's canoe. And then you canoe over there, and you're like, oh, this is rad, like, And then someone else comes
totally.
out of there going, dude, it goes even. And then you're like, you're just canoeing
Yeah,
together
man,
in a sense.
totally. Like we're all just canoeing, and you can miss so much shit unless someone comes along and is like, hey, just
Right.
check this out.
Yeah, yeah. And
And
then all of a
dude,
sudden you're just
yeah,
like, this is fucking right. And then what?
totally.
Then you get so good at canoeing that like you canoe from like the Polynesian islands all the way to like Easter Island, Hawaii, California, and then you're just like, oh, let's just see how far we take these canoes, right?
Dude, fuck yeah.
Let's just get it, let's just make our canoe bigger and then just canoe to like the next fucking realm. Like, and it's really kind of a cool thing. And all it took is like
No,
one chuckle from somebody that's like halfway out of their consciousness to like
totally.
get on that wavelength of your thoughts. And that's
Yeah, man.
hippy dippy as I get, dude.
No, for sure. I mean, dude, just any song that I've ever recorded that's been put out. I mean,
Yeah,
one person saying they fucking like it
it's always a trip, huh?
yeah, it's a trip, and it's like that's great. That's all I need,
Right.
That's amazing. I
Do
don't
you
need
remember like,
fucking I don't need
yeah,
8 million people,
yeah,
just the fact that fucking one person, and it's like with all this shit we talk, you know, hopefully, because I've been inspired by so much of the same kind of content or whatever.
yeah.
Hopefully there's something that we're saying that fucking shoots some people off on some shit where they figure out some truths. You know what I mean?
Dude, like with music, do you remember the actual time that like you like heard your stuff back and then like actually liked it? Like you were just like, oh my God, I like this. I like this. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
yeah, definitely.
Yeah. That's like the real fucking that is the real mental knot, isn't it, dude? Like,
It
you can be
is
like
because
rocking out, like, and just going, I don't know, because and the real outer body experience is like, oh yeah, like I like it.
no, for sure. And
It's like weird,
there's a whole, just kind of zenness of
right?
when you're, you know, when you're recording some shit, I'm
Right.
recording a bass line and like, you know, finish it, finish a take. everyone's like, oh, oh, it's killer or whatever, or maybe not. Hey, or, a lot of times, dude's like, hey, you're a little fucking late on this one fucking thing, whatever. Um, it's I forget where I was going with that
Yeah,
one.
once you actually start because I know from playing music is that
Oh
like
yeah, dude,
sometimes
I'll
yeah
fucking yeah, man, fucking dude, I won't fuck around, man. Fucking if there's some dude, if everyone in the room saying, dude, that was the best fucking take of all time. If
yeah
I don't like it, and if I
yeah
know that I will not listen to that fucking song ever again
right
because what
yeah
I fucking played, I don't give a fuck.
yeah well yeah, but like I'm like also just because I know like early on play music I just like in my mind I'm like am I even good at this, dude? I'm like am I even am I even is this anything, right? And
I
then like
still think that.
yeah, yeah, but I remember there was a time and you hear like a test pressing back and you're like staring at the record turn or something and you're hearing it come through the fucking speakers and you're like, oh, dude, oh,
No,
oh,
yeah,
I don't,
dude,
oh, this is
it's
good.
such an awesome feeling.
This is
It's
so
such an
good.
awesome feeling. Yeah,
Yeah, it's like
the
you're just
shit
like,
that the shit
other
that
people are gonna
I
fucking like this, dude.
totally like. Fucking people talk about, oh, what's your guilty pleasure, fucking to listen to or whatever. I don't have any guilty pleasures, but I guess a guilty pleasure would be like this the stuff that I really like that I've done, I've listened to a lot.
Right? Yeah.
you know?
It's like
And
looking at a
and
picture
dude,
of you at a wedding dressed up. You're like, oh, damn, I'm handsome as
I
fuck.
mean, yeah. And really, dude, I mean, it's not like egotistical. It's just
Yeah.
like, I don't know, man. It's hard to explain.
No, because I think it's because it comes from somewhere. Like
For
because
sure.
it comes from like a conglomeration of everything that you've like listened to, all the ideas, all the people that you like looked up to in a way. You're just like, oh damn, dude, like that motherfucker knows how to rock, dude. Or like, or like that guy does that just that his own way in a sense, and this guy does that thing in his own way, and you're just like, oh man, they're just doing it. And then all of a sudden, like you're like listening to like a little like part where you go, oh, I like because when in music it's like crazy because like you'll be like, oh, I like how he hangs on to that like just one note, and it's like or does something like just tweaks it just enough to be like, oh man, that can't be that's got to be the one time thing for that because it's all
Yeah.
A E B C D, right? Like, but at the exact same time, it's like you're like, oh, but it was just done different. It was done just
No, it's just there's style. It's a
yeah,
style.
yeah,
Yeah.
and you just go,
And
fuck, that's fucking crazy. Like, and
totally.
I
And
just
yeah,
I still do that with some people. Like, I go see like, and I'll be like, oh wow, man, like that's fucking nothing new under the sun. But man, it's just
oh man,
fucking
dude,
presented perfectly.
speaking of, um working with the Gimme Gimmes, and John Reese was out with them on guitar, I'm like, holy
Yeah,
shit, my
yeah,
all-time favorites, Drive Like Jehu,
yeah.
Pitchfork,
Oh yeah,
and Rock from the Crypt,
just the
everything.
live show.
Yeah, totally. And fucking um a long time ago I was a lot more influenced by him. I kind of go on these circles.
Right. Yeah.
I come back around, I'm like, revisit the shit. I'm like, oh my God, these are my
Yeah.
roots.
Yeah.
And just vibing with them, hanging out with them, playing with them. I just remember one day at a sound check, I was checking guitars with a drummer and just jamming, and like it was just like, it was just like, hey, jam on E. But
Yeah.
I was feeling the John Reese vibe
Uh-huh.
and just playing some shit. I was playing some shit. We're done. Fucking finish up. I'm walking upstairs the dressing room, and like the bass player and John Reese are like, yo, or the bass player is like, what were you playing? Was that like a Mastodon song? I'm like, no, I was just playing that. And he walks away. And then John Reese is like, dude, that was insane. That was so cool. Fucking, what you're playing. And I was like, dude, fucking, I mean, no, I
Dude,
mean,
yeah.
on behalf, I'm dude, fucking,
Yeah.
because
No, he
how
like
can I can never be mad about anything in my life because
dude.
John
Right,
Reese complimented some fucking shit I was playing at sound
right.
check. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? Like I have no
I
right
mean,
to
because
complain about anything after that.
you
But
know what's
that's just
so
how
wow,
cool
yeah,
music is,
yeah. It's well,
you know?
dude, because
It's such
like
a
as far as
cycle. Like that guy influenced me my whole entire life. And then I got to play. I just happened to
yeah,
work for the motherfucker and play something
yeah,
he
yeah, yeah,
like with like how he was smiling and so it was cool, dude.
yeah.
Like like outside of music, shit like that doesn't fucking happen. You know, you're not
Dude, it's
gonna
wild,
meet
right?
Kim Kardashian on the street. You know, you're not gonna meet so and so.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's
But
awesome,
I
man.
just think there's very few people in the world that like actually showmanship slash talent slash like just regular, just cool people. There's few people that like that don't get caught up in like that. I have to be this. You know what I mean? When John Reese is one of those people where like you can see where like he just he's like more, I feel like exactly how music, like you making music with your friends, right? You're just
Totally.
chilling with your friends and it's not a big thing. Some people get better at guitar than other people and all that. But dude, it's like that showmanship style slash like this is who you are and it comes across in the live. Like that's what always impressed me the most
Oh man,
about Rocket from the Crypt in general is that like because you can hear the record, and be like, oh, these songs are really dope. Hear the record, here, and then like go watch them and be like, oh, it's better.
totally.
It's like
And
you know
that's
what I
the
mean?
yeah. And
It's
then
better.
but and yeah, and he's like
Yeah.
one of the most positive fucking
He's
happy
definitely
dudes.
he's
It
definitely
was amazing.
he's
So
definitely Californian,
inspiring.
man. It's
Yeah, oh
like that's
yeah.
what I like. He's definitely the punk rock California. That's why I like when sometimes people just uh like we'll trip out, to be like, oh, what are you playing? I'll be like, oh, like punk rock and roll, hardcore. But and then you'll have to categorize yourself like when you're talking to someone, right? That just
Totally.
happens. And then like you just don't know what to say, like, oh, emo, it's like gets kind of weird. But like it's just like, mostly I go, hey, dude, it's like there's all sorts of different kind of punk out there. There's East Coast hardcore, which is rad. There's you
There's
know
all kinds of shit.
northwest
You can
northwest fucking punk rock.
you can classify for days.
There's DC, there's
Yeah.
like Texas punk, which is a little bit, different than there's
Everyone has
Chicago
their
punk. And they've made documentaries about all this fucking stuff. I think
yeah.
Dave Grohl did like his like drove around and like pretty much what did he do? He kind of like did he did it and he did it fucking really well for like Dave Grohl because he's been
There's
around.
some good
But dude,
couple good ones.
when it comes to California sound, there's like two bands that like I always go like there ain't nothing better than these bands. And it was like Black Flag, the best California fucking band ever, and also fucking Rocket from the Crypt, California. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then like Agent Orange, also California. I'll put Agent Orange, Everything Turns Gray, up against anything, dude.
I mean that song's so
Ever,
classic.
dude. That
Yeah.
fucking do 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 do
Yeah, I mean, yeah. They should be playing that on the classic rock station, you know what I mean?
Are they playing it on the classic?
No, but they should be.
Oh,
No,
that
that's a
would break my
classic. That's
heart. That
classic.
would break my heart though.
Uh,
If they
no,
did
they
that, dude, I'd be like,
I'm
oh
glad they're
no.
not. I'm just saying they should be. I'm glad they're not. But I
Yeah,
mean, Rockin' from the Crypt, just when I listen to them, I picture palm trees and fucking sunny skies and
yeah, man. I just go, dude.
Southern
That's
California.
California, dude. That's
Yeah.
California, bro. Like, because you get like, get that northwest like grunge, which like give or take, it wasn't ever like my main. But dude, like, but then if you go
It
to those
wasn't my
early,
thing.
yeah, but if you go to those early Pill sessions with Nirvana and John Peel, and then you kind of go, actually, kind of before Dave Grohl got in the band, like you're like, this is like such a different band. Like, it's actually,
Well, yeah. Well, going back, like, because at grunge at the time, like we were into
yeah,
punk rock and we were young
yeah,
and into punk rock, and I
yeah,
just anything that was on MTV, anything mainstream, I kind of
yeah,
instantly hated, and I
right,
still hold a grudge towards. But as I got older, you know, I've been able to appreciate a lot of those bands, and I love a lot. I love. I mean, I don't care for Nirvana that fucking much, but a lot of those bands I fucking dig
Yeah, like
their
you had
shit,
Poison
dude, man.
Idea.
Oh,
You,
no,
what,
dude. Well, yeah, of course. I
yeah,
mean, Poison Idea. I
you
mean,
know,
count. Poison Idea is one of my all-time favorite fucking
yeah, but it's
bands,
like,
dude.
you trip out because you're like, oh yeah, yeah, they were north. That was like the punk rock up there, and they did their punk rock a little bit different. I always felt like it was still
Totally.
sick and just
Yeah. Well,
totally
they were.
dirty, and then,
Yeah.
yeah,
Totally dirty. Dirty is a good fucking. Yeah.
yeah,
I
and
mean,
it was cool,
they're
man.
dirty motherfuckers. Yeah.
Yeah, it was cool. And then like you had the Wipers, and that I think that was like that to me, give or take. Um, that was like the Northwest sound for me. Like, you know what I mean? There's a couple other bands, they're not really coming to my mind right now.
I mean, yeah,
But I mean,
a lot of people followed the Wipers kind of
yeah,
gloomy, gloomy punk sound
right.
from up the Northwest.
Yeah. I
Even
think,
like Tragedy.
yeah, 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 yeah.
Tragedy like took it and just down tuned it and fucking,
Yeah.
yeah.
But I mean, like as far as tragic. Oh, his Heroes Gone's first show in California.
Oh
that was like a
man.
real sick band, dude. Like,
Yeah.
I was like, damn, dude, they're just
His Heroes
hippies.
Gone was amazing. Yeah.
Yeah, like, and you're just like, what the fuck, dude? There was a lot of good bands that rolled through there. Um, yeah, that was one that like 5 people were there, just like
Totally
no
in the
one even
living
knew. Like,
room. Yeah.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
fucking, yeah, those were like, where are they from? Knoxville originally,
Well, that
Memphis.
Memphis.
Okay, yeah, Memphis, yeah.
Yeah.
All
Memphis is
the
wild, bro.
Yeah, I mean, they had a good scene for sure, dude. Like they
Yeah.
had they had From
Oh, that
Ashes Rise,
amazing scene.
From Ashes
Yeah.
Rise. That guy was the second bass player of Tragedy or something like that. Then moved it. I thought From Ashes Rise was a fucking sick band, dude.
Yeah. From Ashes Rise killed it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but then
From
you have
Ashes
but
Rise, Death
then you have that
Threat.
DC thing. Yeah, everyone did the DC thing, which was like how many bands came out of DC? I mean, that's just like a ridiculous amount of bands. But
And
the LA
how many
punk
of those
scene,
bands, how many of the DC bands though were family members of all these politicians or
dude.
you know,
I mean, if you
military, you know,
yeah,
fucking all
you
these
start
people.
peeling the onion, right?
Yeah,
Like you're just like,
yeah.
oh,
That's like the onion.
Henry Rollins' dad
Yeah.
worked for the like fucking
Yeah.
like a
Ian
ministry of
McKay. Yeah.
yeah,
Who's Ian
you know,
McKay's parents?
yeah, the
Yeah.
Congress library and stuff like that. Like
Totally.
it's
Yeah.
just, but it's an industry.
And you
But
know, hey, you
I
know,
mean,
fucking
admittedly, I think Ian
hey,
McKay
respect,
admittedly
because
says,
respect. I mean, yeah, because fucking if that was my parents, I mean,
yeah,
I rebelled, you know, I would have
yeah. I
done the
mean,
same. And so respect, you know,
but
unless they were
I think
part of
admittedly,
unless they're
like
part of a program.
yeah, admittedly though, like Ian McKay will say, it's just like, yeah, I mean, like the reason why that scene got so documented so much so was like a lot of the kids already had like family members that were like, already had their like kind of like life's plan for them in a way where they'd be like, oh, you want to be a photographer, and they would set them up,
Totally.
and
I
so
mean, that's it.
I mean,
And you know, that's the privilege of
yeah,
wealth.
yeah,
You know, you get to fucking
yeah,
explore hobbies, you know. You don't have to
right.
just go to trade school and learn how to fucking be a slave your whole life.
Yeah, but like if you admit it in a way to the point where it's just, I mean, dude, Ian McKay is the raddest, man. He had this like he had this one speech about like how much he loved skateboarding, right? And like how much he liked music at the same time, and that like he worshiped like the West Coast. Like all his friends, like they worship the West Coast because like Thrasher magazine, or I think it was
Mhm.
Thrasher at the time, um,
But yeah, and even
would be like,
independent trucks, fucking all
yeah,
that.
like,
We're out
and
here.
you could totally see that, like, like they were wearing Vans, and they were like,
Totally.
they
They
definitely
were
had like,
so California influenced.
yeah, they were like Dogtown, the whole thing, and like, and he'll just be like, oh, yeah, this one thing he was talking about. He's like, oh man, there was nothing to do in the summer of '77, man. There was nothing to do. We were bored out of our fucking minds. And then he just gets really serious about it and goes, that's why I became a skateboarder. So he's kind of like rad, dude. You know what I mean?
Yeah, dude,
That's why we skated,
uh,
you know,
I got
that's why I
no
became
hate.
so,
I got
yeah.
no hate against him.
He's really kind of like, it's really kind of hard to pinpoint like the way he thinks, because it's like it's so poignant, like where he
Yeah,
talks about uh like they go, oh, you know, because you if you like really think about all the records that like Fugazi sold, I mean, they're everyone in that band's a millionaire 20 times over. You know what I mean? They just
for
have a lot of
sure.
money.
Yeah,
But he's all, but like, and they talk to him about like selling, like, oh, well, you could have sold out. He's all, I mean, sell out to what though? His ideas are thought of it, and he, you know, it's be
no,
like, oh,
dude.
he's all sell it to what though? I mean, like, it's like, it's like I was in the business of selling plastic, if you think about it. You know what I mean? The CDs, the vinyls were all plastic. He's all, so if you really want to like, if you really want to like start talking about it, it's just like all we were really good at was selling plastic, because that's what we were selling. We weren't selling our music. You know, we were making records and then selling plastic and packaging it. Like it's not like that hard of a business to think about. You know what I mean? He has funny things, you know.
No, dude, I got no hate against him. It's been actually a love hate relationship with him, you know, fucking.
Yeah.
But he's been through like this whole time still making music. You know, I
Yeah.
discovered Minor Threat, and you know,
Yeah.
and like if
Yeah.
you get older and like there's Embrace, and then there's
Oh yeah.
Fugazi, and dude, there's a time I loved Fugazi more than any band in the fucking world.
Right.
But
Yeah.
there's also a time after that where I hated Fugazi more than
Right.
any band in the
Yeah. It was just
world. You
like,
know what I
it
mean?
was like all you could
But it's
eat
just
pizza
funny, you
place, and
know?
then you know.
And but now it's like, you know, fucking fuck yeah, dude. And I got no hate for the guy, man. Fucking and
He did that
I
one.
actually love, dude. I love that they haven't done a Minor Threat reunion. I hope to
Right.
fucking God they don't.
Yeah.
We're we got 10 minutes left on this one. Heads
Who
up.
cares? Let's keep on rolling. I'll talk
Yeah,
music all
yeah.
night long.
But you know, Fugazi, I think, dead at this point. Hopefully
Yeah.
they don't do it anymore. I mean, dude, it's like, I mean, there's so many money grabs,
Yeah.
and you know, go get your money. I don't,
They
it's
made their
all
money.
good. It's
They
all
made their
good to
money.
go get money, but they don't need, you know, I would just fucking love if they never fucking did it. He
Dude,
just
I
keeps
mean,
doing his own thing, whatever. There's no
yeah.
reason for them to do another Fugazi show. Fucking hope they never do a Minor Threat show.
Well, I don't
Yeah,
think they
that's
will.
where I
I
am.
mean, I just don't think the
I
drummer
don't
could
think
keep
they
up.
will either.
Jeff. Yeah. I don't think the
Well,
drummer
I
could
mean,
keep,
dude, yeah, but they could get anybody. They get Bill fucking Stevenson to play drums.
and he would too,
Of
because I
course,
mean, he
that's what
does
I'm
all those
saying.
weird.
They
Yeah,
could
yeah, yeah.
get anybody. If fucking Ian was like, let's do
Right, yeah.
this.
Yeah.
Obviously, Brian Baker.
Oh well,
Um,
Dude,
obviously Brian Baker's in. Who else? Fucking anyone who's not in. Dude, there's literally a million people to
yeah, I
take
know.
their place. There's
Yeah. But
literally
you
a
know,
million people to take their place,
dude, I don't
and
know
it'd
if
be
you I don't know
fine.
if you saw I don't know if you saw the last like Dag Nasty reunion that they did with Sean Brown. Or was that Sean Brown, the original singer?
Well, yeah, Sean Brown was original,
Yeah,
but there's
they did
like
a reunion,
two. I didn't get to see the Sean Brown one.
the all original. Well, dude, like they played like the Blue Lagoon, that you know how
Mhm.
small that is.
Oh, they played
You know?
the little small place in SF too.
And it was like, I mean, half of a packed house for fucking Dag Nasty. And
Yeah,
you
the
know what
best
was so
Dag Nasty song.
with Sean Brown, is just like,
Oh, dude,
I mean,
Can I Say,
Swizz, the
the only
fucking,
good songs, on Can I Say Dag Nasty were Sean Brown Dag Nasty songs.
yeah, yeah. But
Yeah,
dude, the show was amazing though, dude. Because I
of
think it was
course.
all original players. And it was like an amazing show. Brian Baker was like, right. I mean, he's like fucking Brian Baker, Minor
Yeah.
Threat. But what was so random, dude, about the show was like, who's your favorite dude? Besides Minor Threat, who's your fucking favorite band from Discord?
from Discord.
It's
Like
easy
all,
for it's easy for me.
it's
Void,
not that boy.
dude.
It's
So
yeah. I mean, it's not that easy for me, but I fucking love Void.
yeah, Void rips, right?
Void, yeah,
So,
yeah. Void, the
dude,
Void split on the Faith 12
yeah,
inch,
Void Faith,
and
yeah,
then the later Void LP that never got released or whatever is insane
so good,
too.
so fucking good, dude.
Oh yeah, those
Well,
guys were the
we're
sickos. See, so those guys were us. If
yeah,
we were in DC in 1981 right now, we'd be in Void.
yeah. Oh, we'd be
Yeah,
fucking
because we're the
stage having Void.
we're the sickos of the sickos. Void was
Well,
the
dude.
sickos. Void was the sickos of the sickos of the sickos.
So the guitar player from Void, like, I'm at the Dag Nasty show, and it's like a Tuesday or a Wednesday, Thursday. It's like just an off night. No one's even there. Like, all of a sudden, the fucking 6'4" black dude comes in, and it's the guitar player from Void, dude. Just like, oh, hey, and just
And
like the
Santa
whole
Cruz.
fucking dude, the whole fucking show stops, and it was like, and everyone's just like, oh, what's his name again? Ah, fuck, I can't remember his name. But like Brian Baker's like, what the fuck, dude? And then Sean Brown's like, what the fuck, dude? He's like, so I got here, dude, from out, because yeah, I guess he's homeless and he's crazy or something like that.
Hmm.
And he's just like, everyone was just tripping, dude. The guitar player from Void was there raging, dude. Like, it was fucking
Awesome.
wild, dude. It was
That's
wild.
awesome.
It was wild. And he's just, oh man, I gotta catch a ride with you guys. And they're just like, yeah, man, where do you want to go? And like, it's just so rad, dude. And it's like, fuck, man, that's what I love about That's what I love about those off nights, the Tuesday in Santa Cruz or
Dude,
any one of these
that's
fucking places.
music, man.
Yeah, yeah.
That's music. It
Bro,
connects
we haven't
just
seen you in
fucking
20
wild,
years.
crazy people. Yeah.
Yeah. I made it. I made it.
Yeah.
He's like, you guys are killing. And they had like a full on like reunion yelling at each other. Like, oh fuck, man. Dude, how many songs? He's like, how many songs did I miss, man? They're like, oh, we just started, dude. Like, it's like, so fuck yeah. And just like, it was like, holy shit, dude. It was amazing.
Amazing.
It was amazing.
And
It was amazing. Yeah.
You had to be there.
Yeah. I mean, you know, it's fucking like, you're like, dude, like, who's gonna walk in next, bro? You know, it's like, but like all those guys from you know, out of all the guys from Fugazi that still do shit, Ian still does stuff with his wife. That one song he did, Governors. Have you heard that one?
What's a
The
band?
reason why everything is fucked up is all these governors. It's such a good song, dude. It's so good.
Yeah,
Like,
I don't know if I
like,
heard that one.
yeah,
But the
it's
Evens,
such a good song.
you know the Evens,
Oh, that's
obviously.
them. Yeah.
Okay, yeah. So the Evens
Yeah.
album that they did in like whenever Never Healed did our LP,
Yeah.
the Evens did a LP at the same time, and it was like black and white photos with red lettering, and
Yeah.
we stole that. We stole that one,
Oh yeah.
and I have no shame in my game saying we stole that.
But and I don't think, dude, like he has a funny, yeah, that like not all the songs are great, but that everything is fucked up from these governors. It's like
Oh
so
yeah.
it's a good
No,
song,
those
dude. Like,
guys are so good.
yeah,
Fucking um with when Rancid and Dropkicks were touring, fucking I started chopping up with dudes about playing songs during sound check or whatever. And so me and the guitar player for Dropkick Murphys, he played drums. I guess drums is his actual main instrument. He's a guitar player, accordion dude, and then the bass player dude. We were playing Bad Mouth, so we used to play Bad Mouth at sound check all the time,
nice.
and it was so fun, dude. It was so fucking fun. Me and another dude would trade off on the vocals. Man, it was amazing.
God,
I loved
DC
it.
fucking punk. Yeah, yeah. I definitely drank the Kool-Aid with like all those
Oh yeah,
bands. I mean,
Right to Spring,
even
One Last
oh
Wish,
yeah. Oh
Gray
yeah,
Matter.
I'll still listen to Right to Spring, and I'll just be like, oh, yeah, I'll still listen to it and just be like, oh
It
man,
blows me
I
away all
didn't
the
catch
time.
that the first 20 years of my life, you know,
Yeah,
like, and like, you know, I'm like
yeah.
hearing it with new ears.
It's so
Yeah,
timeless. Every time you
yeah. Like,
hear it, it's a new
did you ever
time.
get into that the Rain
Oh,
The
dude,
yeah,
Rain. Yeah,
yeah,
the Rain 12" was one of my all-time
yeah.
favorites for
All
sure. Yeah.
all I had was the tape, like a tape
Oh
of it.
yeah.
Like it was like super. It's probably somewhere in. I got like, dude, I got like a
Oh yeah.
fucking big old moving box of tapes, dude. Like
You
it.
got to
I need
bust
to
them
get
out.
a blaster and just. I mean,
Oh
like
yeah.
fucking
Rain was one
demos
of my
I made, you
favorites.
know,
Oh, dude,
like just.
Ignition.
Oh
Ignition
yeah,
is one of my faves. Rain,
yeah.
One Last Wish, Right to Spring. I mean, those
Even
guys fucking were killing it.
yeah, Hoover, Crown Hate Ruin. Those were like,
Oh, and then
those
oh
were.
yeah, those side shoots. Yeah,
Yeah,
Hoover,
I
man.
like Erskine, dude. Erskine's like fucking great bass player. I met him at like the Fireside Bowl, and dude, he was super chill. I was like, I'm all, hey man, like I bumped into him and I'm like,
Awesome.
come on. I just saw it was like his band Justifier was playing, and I'm like, come on. I
Hmm.
caught him at the Fireside Bowl. It's like, I'm like, a fucking and I'm like, oh, I'm like, hey man, I fucking dig it. I dig Justifier, man. I love Hoover. And he's like, so hey man, what are you doing? So we just got a 12 pack. We're gonna go. You guys want to? He's just a normal dude, bro. Like he's just like, come
Fuck
hang
yeah.
out. We have a 12
Of
pack, dude.
course. Of
It's like,
course.
fuck yeah, dude. It's like,
Man.
this is so rad. I thought, I'm like, oh yeah,
Hoover
I'll
was
go
so
fucking drink a
good.
beer. I'll go
Oh
drink a
man.
beer. Let's go fucking
Dude, that
party, you know?
hell yeah. That Hoover bass line, the dun, 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 dun.
Yeah.
Wasn't that Hoover?
Yeah, yeah. And then well, it was all bass with like super lungfish. Go on, even
Yeah, it's
fucking
like
talk about that lung.
unwound. Hey, we're
Yeah,
gonna get cut. We're gonna get cut off right here.
I know. All right.
Want me to send you the other? You want to keep going?
Yeah, let's go. Let's keep.
This meeting is being recorded.
Got it. All right. So we should tie music into like something, right? To Tartaria, Lemuria, whatever you want.
Lemuria.
Lemuria. So yeah,
Who
like
sings about Lemuria?
oh, the Pixies, Frank Black. Like yeah, so he's on radio, he's doing this like on radio interview, and you know like how sometimes like there's always that like Scarface thing, like some people you just tell on yourself after a while, kind of. Everyone
Yeah,
does, you know what I mean? Well, he goes, oh
dry
yeah, yeah,
snitch.
well,
It's called dry snitching.
yeah, yeah, yeah. It's like, or you just told on yourself, fool. You fucked up, you know that, right? You just fucked up, you know that, Anyways, well, he's like sitting there in this like radio interview doing some kind of radio, like, like that whole NPR bullshit. And he starts talking in this interview. He's just like, yeah, like this was like when I was up in Northern California, and I met a girl and she was a Lemurian, and we hung out all summer long. And then, you have like this thing, the song called Valeria.
What was the song? Valeria. Let me look it up real quick.
Yeah, it's like I got it right here. I hold my head while trampoline falling through the roof on somewhere near and far in time. I mean, it's like,
Valeria.
yeah,
Valeria. I'll
Valeria,
pull
her cuddling traveling career, she can only really move uh on Valentine. My Valeria, well, even I adore you, my Valeria, even I adore you, da 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 da, right? Say to me where you've been, finally through the roof, and how does your lemur skin reflect at sea, right? And
Oh
it's the
yeah.
whole fucking thing.
Here,
Forever green. I know she's here in California, right?
let me pull
And I
this
can
up.
see the tears of Shasta Sheen, So
So here's
back
the
in 1990,
lyrics.
yeah, back in like 1990, he's talking about Lemuria meeting someone in Shasta, this girl, and then Forever Green. I know she's here in California. California, I see the tears. Oh, Shasta Sheen. There you go. I mean, it's like
Yeah. I mean,
pop
he's
culture.
singing about Lemuria.
Yeah.
He
So
calls
like,
it
what do you?
Valeria, which is interesting because like Valeria is in the Game of Thrones world.
Oh, is it?
Valeria.
Yeah,
It's
but
spelled a little different, but yeah.
I mean, as far as like a pop culture drop, you know what I mean? It's like,
I mean,
and
yeah.
don't get me wrong, Frank Black is like, I think he's an amazing songwriter, and the Pixies are good, but Frank Black and the Catholics are like the best. I think it's like a real band. Not that
And
Pixies aren't, but like Frank Black and the Catholic is like, in my opinion, the band. But like,
how does
you know,
Lemur's skin reflect the sea?
yeah. So, you know, and the third verse, Forever Green, you know, so, you know, music has its own like little truth drops.
Oh, there's so many, man.
Yeah.
Well, that dude, Dave McGowan, who did the
Dave
what's
McGowan.
he did the fuck, what's the goddamn name of that fucking he did the Laurel Valley
Oh, yeah.
the Laurel Valley fucking whole thing. I forget what it's called. He exposed all the Laurel Valley shit. Oh yeah, the weird scenes inside the canyon, Laurel Canyon. I'm
Oh, yeah.
just saying Laurel Valley.
I've
Laurel
turned
Canyon,
people
yeah.
onto that book. I've turned
Oh,
people onto
dude,
that
yeah.
book, and they
And
literally look at me and they go, "I don't believe fucking the Doors were CIA." You're like, "Oh, okay." You ever
yeah.
hear of like the Gulf of Tonkin? They're like, "Oh, what do you mean?"
Sure.
They go, "His dad was the guy that did the false fucking flag, dude." Huh?
Yeah.
They jump back.
Yeah, and
You
of
know,
course fucking McGowan, dude, fucking died of lung cancer or some shit. They wiped his ass out, dude.
that whole San Jose Mercury news shit. Yeah,
Yeah.
man.
Oh, dude, that's a trip about the San Jose Mercury News, man. It's like, what are like? It seems like through the Cadillac Desert, and
Yeah.
then even like through sports stuff. Skip
Skip
Bayless,
Bayless. Yeah.
yeah. What is it fucking with San Jose? Like, are they fucking trying to drop some shit? Or are they like, what
Well,
is
dude,
it out
I've
there?
had this I've had this long form thought that I was actually thinking about turning into like a real handbook. I'll never do it because you know your boy got 1,000 things going on, but like it's like where I wanted to like explain like how much of the like subculture, pop culture, counterculture actually is San Jose. It has nothing to do with San Francisco. And I'm talking
Mhm.
about like from the acid trips to the remote viewing to like the Hydron Collider. It's all San
Mhm.
Jose. Right? And then
Well,
if you
yeah.
go down Bascom Avenue, all the stuff that they've just tore down. I mean, Fleetwood Mac, half the band was from fucking Palo Alto, Bascom area. There was like the Club Libertine.
Mhm.
I don't know if you ever heard of that place.
I,
But it's Los Gatos. It was like kind of like a beatnik. Like the beatniks were all like they were
yeah.
all San
All
Jose.
over San Jose. They gloss over that with San Jose.
They,
They just make it like it's San Francisco.
yeah, they just put it on San Francisco because it's like San Francisco needs to sell it. You know what I mean?
Yeah. But
They're
even
gonna turn
Santa
like,
Cruz too. Yeah.
well, Santa Cruz has its own thing. I mean, like uh I mean, just the old money. I mean, the lime kills, like all the
Yeah.
resources, the gunpowder factory that supplied all the armies,
Mhm.
all the armies,
The concrete factory in
the
Davenport.
concrete factory that supplied all the like Civil War gunpowder.
Mhm.
Like
But yeah,
it's
San Jose always
yeah.
gets glossed over. No one fucking talks about San Jose except Silicon Valley.
Yeah,
It's
now
like,
they do.
why? Yeah, but why was Silicon Valley there? There's a reason it's there.
I just think, you know, like I think the counterculture is so much more in San Jose. I mean, even now, I mean, like if you go to like uh the East San Jose, they have like I mean, some of the best food I've ever had is like in East San Jose, like
Oh, for sure. The
the
Mexican food
Vietnamese
there.
food, the Italians. Like, I
Mexican.
mean, they all settled there. You know what I mean? And plus, it was like the way they have San Jose now is just burnt out. It just looks like totally burnt out. It's totally, you know, I mean, there's just so much stuff about San Jose that like people don't understand through the mountain ranges, the Roja Krishna, the River Guadalupe. It all ties into like some kind of weird thing. I'm not an expert at it. Other people explain it way better, but it's like, but geographically, you know, I don't know if it's the San Joaquin Valley, but it's the Salinas Valley. I mean, you have like writers coming out of Salinas, John Steinbeck. Uh, it's all right in this zone. It's the counterculture
Mhm.
exists. I don't think the counterculture really exists in San Francisco. I think it's like that's where the flocks of like, you know, the Jim Joneses went there, like the real nasty, like cartoonish people of the 60s were in San Francisco. They were all
Yeah,
cartoons.
the poster
You know, they were
childs
like,
of like the bad shit.
yeah, I mean, like, dude, how many weirdos do you know that like,
Manson pants passed through San Francisco and Berkeley.
right, you know, and then also, you know, the Jim Jones, like,
Oh yeah,
you know, I
People's
think it was,
Church. I mean,
yeah,
hella people from Oakland fucking died in that shit.
yeah. I
There's a
think,
memorial at one of the cemeteries here that remembers all them.
yeah. But San Jose, like, I mean, the remote viewing, I mean, they still
Oh
have
yeah,
the Heart
sounds like.
Institute in like Boulder Creek, which is like, they do amazing research on like telepathic, like communication
Yeah, I
with
mean
through like,
the remote viewing stuff is like known knowledge since whatever, and that's all Stanford shit.
yeah, Palo Alto area.
Yeah, yeah, Leland,
I mean, they just,
Stanford, fucking Big Four,
right.
the
It's
Big
all
Four,
right there, man.
yeah,
All right there. All the mines. All, like, I just think,
Atherton.
yeah, I just get really like, I'll let San Francisco have all the credit. Fuck that. You know what I mean? Like, who cares? Like, I mean, all the cool stuff is down here. I mean, you have the
Oh,
Monterey Pop Festival, you have Big Sur, you have all the stuff. And I was like I said, if I was gonna gather up all the information, all the like little spots I could put in there and do a little book, I think it would be like at least a good selling book, you know?
oh, for sure,
But
dude.
like,
There's so much,
yeah, I mean, this
100%.
whole area is so much different. I just think, you know, San Francisco was a port town. I mean, that's, you know, where in San Jose, I mean, the stuff
Well,
that
for
they've
sure.
moved in San Jose.
I mean, just like fucking, just all these small towns. No one's even probably people have heard about San Jose, but all this other stuff you're talking about, no one's even heard of.
Right. I mean, there's like
But there's so
conspiracies.
much stuff. There's so much stuff in
There's,
them that just goes to show fucking what's going on.
well, yeah, the Stanford University was like, I remember hearing a story about like, you know, the original, um, the woman who took over Stanford after her husband died was assassinated twice. You hear
Hmm.
about that?
Yeah, yeah.
Like they tried to kill her in Hawaii, of all fucking places, poison her, but she survived, so they had to kill her again. It's just this weird,
Yeah.
you know.
I mean,
And
yeah.
then,
When you're trying
you
to
know,
kill someone twice, there's definitely something fishy going on.
yeah, she died twice or something, and or they tried to kill her. And
Mhm.
they're like, oh my gosh, she survived. It was like that whole like Rasputin thing, you know, like where they
Yeah.
fed him poison and they threw him off a bridge, but when they like got his body, he was still breathing in a bag, you know.
Mhm.
That dude, have you
Even
ever
just
gone down the whole Rasputin guy thing?
not since I've got into this shit.
Yeah, he's funny. It's a funny thing, you know, like they just say he was like, I don't know, had a lot of persuasion with the royals of the time. I
Mhm.
don't know. I mean, I've read about it and I've heard about it and I kind of let it go because it's like, okay.
Yeah, I mean, I mean, yeah, exactly. I let a lot of stuff go. Like, I mean, dude, honestly, fucking anything before 19 fucking 30 is
Yeah.
highly suspect as far as history goes, in my opinion. And Rasputin can be whoever. I mean, who the fucking knows who that motherfucker is? You know what I mean?
I,
It's all
I mean,
fragmented history. It's all he say from she say from he said. You know what I mean?
I mean, I,
And you, you know,
well, it kind of makes sense in like where you have this guy comes from like the East, I guess he was from the East,
The
right?
Orient,
Tartarian,
the
whatever.
Orient, the Orient.
Yeah, the East, like where like
Yeah,
Tartaria was, or
yeah.
whatever.
Uh,
But what really makes sense about it, if you think about it, like the royals have always been inbreded people. And so I don't know, say what you want to say about inbred, but like apparently the line got to the point where like um this like where you well, families are wild, right? You can have like an Anna Nicole Smith and then the rest of her fucking family, it's just
oh
like,
yeah,
whoa,
totally. Even like
hillbillies.
yeah,
Yeah,
DuPont, that guy from DuPont. Like,
yeah. But apparently the story gets kind of to the point where it's just like there was so much inbreeding that like these people were actually stupid and they were very dumb. Like they didn't have like a lot of like street smarts, I guess what you call it, or just they didn't know. So like if you had some guy like a fucking David, like if you have David Blaine walk into like your castle and be like, oh hey, let me show you a trick, and you're like, oh my god, this guy's a ghost, he's
yeah,
floating,
he's a wizard.
yeah, and he's and if you're like maybe like an
Totally,
inbred and your IQ is below a certain,
100%,
and then of
100%.
course,
The elites have been manipulated by the real people in power, always.
yeah. So
Totally.
I mean, there's a lot to be like. There's a lot to be said with it. You know what I mean? Like he basically there was like a childlike queen, right? Mentally, we've all been around people that like if you've ever worked in the world, you're just like, how does this guy even have a job here, dude? You know what I mean? Like this guy's dumb as fuck, right? It turns out like his uncle gave it to him, or something like,
Totally, yeah.
It's the same thing with those like the Russian royalty back then was that, I mean, if you wanted to marry someone to like move up and she happened to be like a real dummy, you know what I mean? You're just like, I just married the biggest dummy ever, but
Totally, yeah. I mean, I think Game of Thrones explains all that shit pretty
Oh,
well.
dude, I've never
You
even
know?
like watched one thing on Game of Thrones. I'm not
No, but
interested.
yeah,
Like,
it explains exactly what you're talking about.
oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah, it's just like, these royal, it's just, power
Oh,
move, power move,
there's little
power
truth
moves
bombs
of
in
the
there, huh?
families, Yeah, oh, yeah, 100%. Yeah.
Yeah,
Well, just the Game of Thrones, the whole thing. It's the Game of Thrones. It's the people fighting for this fucking throne. The
yeah.
throne don't really mean fucking shit
I don't,
unless
but that,
unless whatever. It's just
but do you ever
it's a
think about
game.
like how that ended up? Like if you go back to like who's the motherfucker that pulled the sword out of the stone? Hamlet?
Arthur.
No. Oh, King Arthur.
Arthur.
Okay, so like, yeah, King Arthur became king because he did like a feat of strength, like only the pure heart can pull the fucking sword out of the stone, and boom, like you know what I mean. They make him like a Hollywood star kind of, where like
Yeah.
maybe something like this was like okay, like he pulled something out of stone. He everyone else tried it, but he was pure heart, so he pulled it out. I guess that's like the and so they made him like, and I guess he was a good ruler, right? But then
Yeah.
like he didn't live forever, right?
No.
So then whoever took there's King Arthur comes around every once in a while, like who's true of heart. I don't know if it makes sense to me the way I'm explaining it. I don't know if it makes sense, but I think that's part of it. Like, where uh, you have like the Templar Knights, they were like really committed to celibacy, war and all this fucking stuff, and they were priests and they were protecting the trade routes and stuff, right? I feel like I'm
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
kind of like not all the way
No.
there with the info, but
No. That's what that's a
you
story.
know, but yeah, but then all of a sudden they get, like totally, uh, like
Yeah. They
sold out by
fucking
the Pope,
yeah. They
right?
kill them. They kill them all. They torture and kill them all.
Right.
Yeah.
But then,
Yeah.
but then they conglomerate the Knights of Templar into the Knights of Hospitality, and now they're traded on the stock market
Yeah. I mean,
as
there's
as
all
the
yeah.
yeah, you know what I mean? It's just like, what the hell
Totally.
was that about? You know what I mean?
Yeah. And then there's like the Knights of Templar, like little secret society. It's
Right.
like parts of, whatever,
But were
which,
they Muslim?
yeah.
But were they
Yeah. I mean,
Muslim?
yeah.
You know what I
Good
mean?
question. Yeah, exactly. Good question.
Yeah.
That's a
So
funny thing. It's just they just breed conflict, man.
yeah, it's like
That's the thing.
what
They don't even have to fucking like. At this point, they've how fucked off they've done history. Like it's just on autopilot now, just breeding conflict. All they have to do is breed conflict, and it's just an ever-ending cycle. Whether it's the Muslims or the Russians or the
right,
fucking right wingers or the left wingers or the Antifa, there's just
right.
just always a conflict. Keep us distracted from anything real going on.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
But like I heard this, I heard this story one time. Oh, I actually it was a weird documentary that had mentioned that Gaddafi, have you ever read the Gaddafi like
Oh, dude.
manifestos and
Yeah.
stuff? Yeah,
I've fucking there's like there's a lot of triggering conspiracy theories out there, that we can get people with.
yeah,
The Gaddafi one is like fucking people. I mean, we all of us have been so programmed about the Gaddafi thing,
right,
and like
right.
uh, you know it's looking like he was actually a pretty fucking legit dude, you know.
Yeah. Oh, he was like flamboyant as like all fucking hell, dude. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
but
Like, I
the
mean,
that whole fucking what was the is it the 40-mile reservoir or some shit?
man,
Was
I
the
don't
thing
know.
he built? Dude, they were
I
like they would give you, I mean, supposedly they would give you money, fucking they give you money if you got married, they give you money if you wanted to start a business. They're building this like crazy long aqueduct that would feed the entire country. Like they
yeah,
were they figured out a way to fucking water those desert crops to
hey,
create like crops. And like
right.
right when they finished this whole system, the US went in and just demolished everything. You know what I mean? And like
Which would be the UN, right? It'd be the
totally, and
UN.
like and
Yeah,
you talk to anyone about Gaddafi now, and like
yeah.
they'll get fucking pissed at you. I swear they'll get
I
pissed
know.
if you even mention any of these things,
Right.
and it's
Yeah.
out there.
But I think that he was very like paranoid, which kind of didn't add to his like persona, right? You know what I mean? It added to this weird like kind of
Well,
like
yeah,
Sea Org type guy, like a real Scientologist kind of like, oh, I'm wearing a suit and I'm like dressed up as a leader, you know what I mean? Really playing the
for
part, right?
sure.
He could have just been an actor in it all.
Oh,
But then
100%.
but then he just went off script, right? And he just kind of like bought into it, like, oh, okay, cool. Because I think that he was educated in France.
Mhm.
I think that was like saying he was fucking smart as fuck
I mean,
and educated.
all these guys out there are,
Yeah.
they make them
And
sound
then
like
so
they make them sound like they're these desert rats. It's like
right.
fucking
Yeah. Yeah.
ridiculous.
Yeah. But apparently, like, I think like I can't remember what religion he was or anything like that, but I don't know what he was, Islamic. I don't know. I don't know. But like apparently um he was he was like
I'm gonna
super
find this video.
yeah, he was like super suspicious of people, and he would like he would the put you through like a process of like getting to be able to talk to him, and then once you got to talk to him, like he was still just be like, what the fuck are you doing here, kind of thing, like that, because he knew he was just very paranoid. And I guess like no one knew how to talk to him except this one guy, and the guy goes, hey man, like I just want to like before you ask me any questions, before any of this, I just want to tell you straight up, like I believe in Jesus. Jesus is my savior. And Gaddafi's like, okay, now I know we're fucking on the same level. And this opened the like, what do you want? What do you need? What kind of things do you want? He was really like, there was just something about him going, okay, you want to talk? We talk Jesus. And then that's all it was for him. Like he's like, you're here on a mission from Jesus. And that was it. And then the whole kingdom opened. It was like this, it was like a weird kind of like thing he had with it all. Like whether he was Islamic or Muslim or whatever it was, I don't really know, but it was like that thing about Jesus. He was just like, okay, cool. Boom. You're here on a mission from Jesus, sent by Jesus. And then like the whole kingdom was open to you. Like you were safe. You were safe in his kingdom. It was really weird.
Yeah, no, I mean, yeah, I get that vibe from him for sure.
Yeah.
From like the documentaries, he's like, he was very inclusive. He was very community fucking driven. He wanted to fucking make people succeed. And like one of the big things was he's trying to get all these other oil nations off the US fucking dollar.
Right. Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Central
And
bank.
you know what happens. You know what happens when
Right.
that happens, you know?
Yeah.
Because
Yeah. I mean, because he was rich as fuck, dude.
well,
So
dude,
that was
these
like
people, all they have to do is just say fuck you. That's all they have
Libya.
to do. You know what I mean? And he was saying, like, we don't need these fucking Americans. We don't need their dollar. We can do it with our own shit. Like, there's
Right.
other currencies. You know what I mean? We don't need
Well,
this fucking dollar.
Well, I think that, or he's just like, I think he was more humanitarian than anything, right? And that's like, that was the
I'll
thing that
fucking
like
agree with that.
kind of fucked everyone up, right? Like just as long, like, because it really is, in a sense, like this, there's a truism to like, what like has been said on the world stage lately with like how, some world leaders are just going, America's satanic. You know what I mean? They have satanic leaders. We're not dealing with them anymore, right? There's this real fucking thing. And once they say that, they get off the like fiat currency and they start turning their like currencies into like gold backed like currencies. It's very much exactly what's going on right now.
This video right here.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. And this video right here is for to go down that rabbit hole of Gaddafi. I think this is a good video right here to start.
Oh, 3 million views.
Right, and that's fucking yeah.
How many times has it been shared? No, he was. I don't know, man. Like
I mean,
he was kind of like
was not what they said he was.
Gaddafi, man. Random, man. Random.
Dude, even like, dude, even Iran. Oh, dude, they got him. But dude, remember how evil Iran was when we were growing up?
Yeah.
But dude, yeah, and Iran was Persia.
Yeah.
No one wants to mention that.
Yeah. Well, dude, I think if I was really gonna let my mind kind of flow, I almost think that like, with the Shah of Iran being like, I guess like a Western puppet, and then switching to like these Ayatollahs, these grand leaders, these holy leaders and stuff like that. Like there's a lot, because dude, Afghanistan and Iran were like pretty much like free open societies. They were like as, free and open as anything. You know what I mean? And the religious holy leaders of Iran shutting down like the society is also kind of like a satanic move too.
Totally.
You know what I mean? I mean, they just sentenced like 14,000 people to death in Iran for protesting.
They did?
Yeah, man, look it up. Pretty like women.
Let's look it up.
Yeah. It's so there's it's pretty heavy duty,
Totally. That's heavy. Yeah. Heavy duty, bro. That's all I could say about
it. Yeah. And we ain't gonna do nothing about it, right?
I mean, fucking.
I mean, but that's the thing, right? You can't like really.
Yeah, here it is right here. First thing I fucking picked up. Are we screen sharing or no?
You don't have, I don't see it, but
Okay, let me fucking pull it up now. First thing right here.
Tom Selleck, huh?
Yeah, Tom Selleck.
What a heartthrob.
Tom Selleck is leaving Blue Bloods, and Iran begins sentencing 14,000 protesters to death. This is our world right here.
Yeah.
As we're on cue, running out of time.
All right.
Wow, dude.
Isn't that fucking fried?
Setting
I don't know if
fire to
it's
the government building, disturbing public order, assembly, and conspiracy to commit a crime against national security, as well as being an enemy of God and corruption on earth. That's what these people are being fucking sentenced to death for, according to this website.
yeah. I think hung in public, dude.
I'm sure,
I mean,
bro.
yeah. But
I'm
that's
sure.
like,
Meanwhile, as you're reading this fucking horrific article,
you can buy a sweater too.
yeah, if you need
In
to
desert
get some,
sand.
yeah, you need to get some moisture wicking.
Yeah.
Crazy, bro.
You can put
Wow.
a patch on it. You can put a patch on it
Does have the
saying
Velcro.
like peg the patriarchy on your
Yeah.
new vest. I mean, this is the kind of wild shit. I mean, like, you know, as far as like, I mean, who's gonna step in, right? You know,
I
like
mean,
you got
yeah.
this fucking fake Ukraine war going on, which is like,
Yeah.
I mean, with
Yeah.
recent
And
news of
meanwhile,
like, you know, the money laundering that like is obvious to anyone that like,
imagine
you
that.
know, you
Yeah.
have like,
Well,
you have like, this is what kills me. You have like fucking, this is what kills me. And like people go, oh, is there any fucking like connection to Sean Penn going to see Zelensky, but also Sean Penn going to see like El Chapo? Is there any like connection there? Oh yeah, Sean Penn went and saw both of them. War zones, by the way. Prisons, by the way.
yeah.
You know, just to like chat with the motherfucker, dude. Sean Penn is like an ambassador now. We're talking fucking we're talking Spicoli's like our fucking
Dude,
guy,
let me say
our
this,
messenger.
bro. If I'm El fucking Chapo, who's head of like this crazy fucking criminal fucking cartel, chops motherfuckers' heads off, hangs them in the street.
Yeah.
The last motherfucking thing I'm ever doing, if I'm this actual person, is agreeing to an on-camera interview with Jeff Spicoli.
Yeah, fucking dude.
That's the fucking last thing I'm doing.
Yeah.
So you have to just think that's a whole fucking Hollywood plot story.
Oh, dude, he literally shows up. The guy shows up with his Oscar to Zelensky and goes, "I just want to offer you this." Yeah, dude, because guess what? This isn't an Oscar award.
Totally, he's a great actor. He's a great actor.
You know? And then they go outside and they look on the ground and it's like Sean Penn has a fucking star on you're like, what in the fuck, dude? Is anyone putting the fucking pieces together here?
It's insanity.
Is anyone just like going, huh? Sean Penn. And then you have fucking stupid ass fucking Ben Stiller. Or no, Jon Stewart, sorry. Jon Stewart going over there and telling Zelensky, you know, like he's his hero. You know what I'm saying? You're my hero. I just want to let you know you're my hero. Do you know who I am? I'm the guy from The Daily Show. I'm fake news. And I'm here. You know, and not that I hate Jon Stewart, but I don't like him. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I have nothing. No,
you know, I don't go Jon Stewart like he's a funny guy. Sure, he made a couple funny faces, had some zingers, bro. You know,
he's a puppet 1,000%.
Right.
Yeah.
Just right.
He's 1,000% a puppet.
And it's just like, hey, dude, what are you doing? Like, if like, I'd just be like, say you were like anybody, you just be like, what are you doing here, dude? This is like, you know, like Sean, what are you doing? Like, you flew a plane here? What are you doing? Like, it would be like, what are you doing here? Like, you know, like, I don't know you, bro.
No,
We're in a fucking war, dude.
totally. And it,
Yeah.
and the other side of the story, if I'm Sean Penn, dude, if I'm trying to meet some fucking crazy cartel fucking
Yeah.
gang leader,
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, it's like, it's just crazy fucking. Last thing I want to do is, dude, just, it's insanity. It just goes to show it's Hollywood. It's all some Hollywood shit, man.
All
It just, in real life, that does not fucking happen, dude. It
right.
does not happen from both sides. Sean Penn would never actually go to some crazy fucking cartel gang member, and some crazy cartel gang member boss would never allow these cameras and Sean Penn into shit.
Well, who's your security at this point?
Exactly. Dude, it's insanity. Dude, a neighborhood drug dealer would never let that fucking shit happen. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah.
You know what I mean? A neighborhood
Yeah.
drug dealer would never let those cameras in
Bro,
for that
it would
shit.
be
You know what I mean?
it would be like, oh, can't we handle this over the phone? I mean, like, dude, how'd you get this number? I'm gonna have to throw
Totally.
away my I'm gonna
Oh
have to
yeah,
throw away my phone now after I talk to you. How'd you get this number? You know, like,
yeah,
you'd be bummed.
totally. And oh
You,
yeah, and dude, El Chapo gets fucking wrapped up right afterwards.
oh yeah, just
Oh,
like,
oops, yeah. Oh, they weren't working with anybody. Sean Penn
yeah, yeah,
wasn't working with anybody.
exactly, exactly.
So, get the fuck out of here,
It's
bro.
so
Get the
bizarre, man.
fuck out of here.
It's so bizarre that like
So
the
bizarre.
pieces like that. It's like all quiet. It's like a nice early morning in Ukraine. It's just like, man, like I have nothing but respect for you. Who's looking at that, dude? Like, who's looking at that and going, scratching their chin and being like, oh man,
Mhm.
Sean, huh? And what was that one movie that he did where he played that, you know,
Yeah, I am Sam.
I am Sam's
Yeah,
here? You know, like,
dude,
you know
that's
what I'm
it.
saying?
Dude, Tropic Thunder fucking made fun of that whole fucking shit about,
Dude.
you know,
Yeah, okay,
you don't go fucking full retard.
exactly. Like, how real is fucking Danny McBride though, dude? Like, you know what I mean? He's like, what the
Too
fuck you
real.
said? He's like, I mean, I dig it, dude. Like, you know,
Totally.
oh, we're going live. Get the fuck out of there.
I mean,
Light it
dude,
up.
Tropic Thunder, I mean, makes you, I mean, you know, obviously fucking a lot of our fucking dads and our friends' dads went over there and died. But what
Right.
was it not just a Tropic Thunder times 100, you know? Just a fully fucking filmed
Oh, that whole
fucking
thing,
thing.
right? You know what I mean?
You
Like,
know,
like
Tropic
people are
Thunder is
like,
just telling us what they did.
but dude, it's the problem is that like that I see with people not like just thinking the Vietnam War was an American war. It wasn't, dude. It was a fucking French war.
Told that's what we came in and tried to fucking take over for them.
Yeah, it was fucked. I mean, dude, they still have like groups. I don't know if they still have it, but they had separatist French fucking Legion groups still living in the jungle. I mean,
I'm
there's
sure.
places that like
I'm sure, bro.
I
I'm
think they
sure.
still do live there, but
I'm
it's like,
sure, because
what
dude,
the
even
fuck?
like you think about the Apocalypse Now,
Right?
Apocalypse Now movie. Well, the director's cut that's like 5 hours
Yeah,
long.
yeah,
They add in all the shit they cut out about all
right,
those French motherfuckers who were there.
right.
You know what I
Yeah,
mean? They
yeah.
totally cut that out of the theatrical version
What the
because they don't
fuck?
want to talk about that they were there first,
Yeah.
trying to getting their ass
What
kicked.
were they doing there?
Exactly. What the fuck were they doing there?
What? Oh, they had like rubber trees and Michelin needed to make tires. Are you out of your fucking mind? You can buy a rubber tree, motherfucker.
Yeah. You buy rubber tree in fucking 10 years, it's fucking too big. You got to get rid of it.
Yeah, dude. It's like, fuck. Rubber tree? They make that out of fucking synthetics now. It's a byproduct of fucking oil, you morons.
Yeah, I
Fucking
mean,
rubber trees. You
what
fucking idiot.
what was that whole thing?
dude, that's apparently the reason for that. Dude, I don't know, man. I mean,
That's a
when you
joke. It's a fucking joke. And the
no,
thing
dude,
is, no one had a choice. Everyone got drafted into that shit. You know
yeah.
what I mean? There's no choice about it at the time.
All right, you're gonna have to get me back. Hit me back again. Bien
Oh,
fu, bien fu. Yeah, go for it.
This meeting
Oh.
is being recorded.
So okay, so Ho Chi Minh, like political education in France, right? This is him. Dude, he looks fucking 1921 going to attending a communist congress in Marseille, France, right? Because so he was educated in France, right? Ho Chi Minh, the leader, the fearless warrior, right? Began to show an interest in politics while
are you on the
living in
wiki?
France.
Are you on the wiki right now?
Oh yeah, I'm just reading. Yeah, yeah.
Oh yeah, I'll pull up. I'm
All
gonna
right.
share this. I'll share it up.
Arrived in Paris from London. Oh yeah.
You see
So
it?
this goes back to World War One and shit, dude. Or right after World War One.
Yeah. Huh.
Yeah, civil rights. He was just a student doing his thing, right? Peace.
Yeah.
The French Indochina to the Western powers, the Versailles peace talks. All right. So I
Where we
guess he
at?
was educated in France, Ho Chi Minh, right? And in Britain.
Oh
So
yeah,
like,
here he is. Yeah.
dude,
He's
so I'm not
educated in
saying
France and the United States and Britain.
yeah. So I'm not saying he's like an asset, right? But I mean, if you're
Well,
gonna,
I mean, the evidence definitely points
but
to it.
so right, he's the first real Gaddafi, right? So I heard a story one time, and it was told to me, and it was told to me like this: like Ho Chi Minh wanted independence from and protection from China because he really wasn't like communist. You know what I mean? So
He's
he
probably
would go,
Tartarian. He's probably Tartarian.
well, probably even like probably even there's probably a lot of history, right? Of like
Oh yeah,
like we're getting to the point where like the out of Africa humans out of Africa movement is really not standing up
totally. Oh yeah, we
as
can
the
get
natural.
into get into
But
the haplogroups. That's for
yeah, we can
another.
do all
That's for
that. But
another
it's
one. Yeah.
yeah, I mean it's we're
Let's
already
stay
on
on
this
Ho
one.
Chi Minh. Yeah, we could
Yeah,
talk
okay.
about
So like
haplogroup Q all day, but let's stay on Ho
so
Chi
the
Minh.
story so the story goes where he wanted to be like part of the League of Nations, right? Part of the UN. And he would go and they would petition and they would petition. The problem was that like, you know, you had France being like, yeah, but you're a colony of like France, so you're covered under us, but he wanted independence. To the point where he just like declared it, right? So I guess the French had to go there and be like, no. But what the fuck was there?
What is there?
You know, like yeah, what's Vietnam's natural resources, right?
What is there?
Yeah, I'm sure we're gonna get some watered down version, right? You looking it up right now?
Yeah.
Natural. Come on.
This is according to
Rubber trees, right?
worldatlas.com. Coal.
All right.
We got coal. We got bauxite.
No, oil and gas. Ugh.
Oil and gas. And tax on the rise. Let's see what else we got here. I mean, it's nothing out of the ordinary. It's not like they have fucking uranium or fucking
Oh, yeah,
some
they got
gold or
coal,
some shit.
rare earth, tungsten, titanium, phosphite rocks, and iron ore. Coal
The
remains.
rare earth shit, man. The rare earth shit's trip because all that rare earth shit, like you can't fucking sell on any fucking market. You can't get rid of it. You could have a ton of some fucking rare earth shit. But the only people who buy it are like Apple for cell phones, you know, or Google for cell phones, you know,
So
which is a trip,
right. So it appears that it has stuff, you know, but you know, I mean, I don't think you could even like go into like inner Cambodia. Like, dude, so here's the funny thing about um here's the funny thing. Anthony Bourdain. Here's the funny thing. He loved Vietnam. He loved going there. He talked about like how strange Cambodia was, how like he exposed a lot of things to the point where, and where was he killed, bro? Where was he killed? Or
Mm.
where did he commit suicide? Or where did he get suicided? I'm saying this because his tweets
Well,
are
dude, I mean, yeah, he
where
was
did it
pretty open.
happen, dude?
Yeah.
Just go ahead and say it with me because it's France,
Not weird.
right?
But he's the one too. I mean, it's not even crazy. He's talked about fucking, if I was ever gonna fucking die, I'm gonna fucking shoot dope and just go out like a fucking champ. And that's not how he fucking died.
No,
Totally.
he died in France, bro, right?
Yeah.
Look it
I'm
up.
looking at this natural resources in Vietnam, and it turns out there's all kinds of fucking,
Right.
yeah, there's all kinds of rare elements and shit that
Yeah, I'm gonna look this up real
they're
quick.
mining out of there. Vietnam has significant quantities of copper, gold, tin, lead, zinc, gemstones, nickel, industrial non-ferrous metals, clay, and phosphate. They have everything there. Oh, here we go. Mining does take place in Vietnam, but agriculture, small scale, blah, blah. Mercury is still dumped in streams. So we got the mercury out there already,
Mercury.
tying it in. They got crude oil, production of crude oil and natural gas. So there is a reason they went there. And you think about this whole with the rare earths and all these rare earth elements, the only people who buy these things are these computer chip companies. And you think about, why did they take over these regions and these areas with all these rare earth elements, and then 30 years later they're coming out with all this technology, phones and everything.
Right.
It's like, come on, man, fucking come on.
Although best known for the culinary writings and television presentation, along with several books of food, cooking, and adventures, Bourdain also wrote both fiction and historical nonfiction. On June 8th, 2018, Bourdain died by suicide while on location in France. I mean, Anthony Bourdain's tweets were fucking wild before the days before he passed, calling out, if you want to talk about like a hit list, he's on one pretty prominent hit list of people that suicided themselves after, I don't want to be on that list, but like, it's just,
Yeah, me neither. Yeah.
you got taxed hard for it,
If you can't see that one, I don't know if I can't help you.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know?
Wow. Yeah. No, the henchmen and all, just like it's not fun. Yeah. It's like, well, it's getting so finite now with, there's still like the big business of like rare earth and minerals and stuff, but it's starting to get like finite, right? Like air, water, these things are the next thing you're going to get charged for, right?
Air's
So,
next.
yeah,
We've been charged for everything else except that.
it's like, and it's just like, oh, how are we going to charge them for air? They're just going to charge you for air because you made the air bad. You know what I mean? And so, it's like, no, we didn't. You fucking dorks.
Yeah.
I mean, like it's like the earth. I hate litter. I hate litter. I hate garbage. I hate waste. But the earth, like, just like like I said last time, you just scoop it up. Scoop it up.
Putting a volcano, man.
Yeah, dude. You just scoop it up.
Dude, that's
the air is gonna take care of itself because like carbon is like to plants, they're sterile.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
And what's, what's the worst difference? A fucking a gigantic continent of plastic killing all the plant life and
Yeah.
the ocean, or just fucking
A
throwing
little
some
off
shit in a
gassing.
volcano. Yeah, a little off
Little
gas.
off gassing, dude. Like, we're
That
all
we're all
good.
doing anyways. Yeah. I
Yeah.
live next to a freeway, man.
Yeah.
Fucking
Yeah. Like,
shit.
the plants are gonna suck it up. They're gonna get real green,
They love
we're gonna
it.
be all good. It's like just manage, like that's like the whole thing. Just if you could manage the water a little bit better, you know,
Yeah.
reintroduce like you know, um lakes where lakes once were, you know what I
Yeah.
mean? Somehow
Totally.
create the thing. But like
Yeah.
but
I've come across some a movement. There's a big movement about destroying the dams and fucking bringing the earth back to how it actually was and not
yeah,
fucking
yeah,
manipulated.
yeah.
But yeah, good luck. Yeah, good luck.
I mean it's here's the thing, is that like I don't think dams are the worst thing. I just think they don't understand them quite right. You know what I mean? Like,
Well, they've twisted them. They've twisted them crazy.
I just,
Dams are cool. They've
yeah,
just twisted them, and they've twisted them in this way. They've created these recreation reservoirs. Like
yeah,
they've created these, and the thing is, the trick is they created these reservoirs and they call them lakes, and they make them sound like they're natural and they're man-made,
right,
and they're
yeah,
natural, not man-made. They're natural, but they're not.
right,
They're man-made, and
right,
they make it sound like they're failing, you know, and they
yeah,
are failing. But the reason they're failing is because they're man-made creations. It's not the natural lakes. There's hardly any natural lakes like in southern, like from, if you draw a line in America halfway through from north south, there's like, dude, I think Texas has zero natural lakes. That's how crazy it is. California
yeah,
only has, like, it's Lake Tahoe, there's Clear Lake, and maybe a couple other natural lakes, and everything is fucking man-made. That's
yeah,
a crazy thing. Everything is man-made, and now they're talking about how these man-made reservoirs are drying up and creating a drought. And it's like,
right,
wait a minute. You're the ones who created this fucking problem. You're the
mhm,
ones who fucking diverted all these rivers into these dams. And now you're saying that they're not fucking filling up like how you thought they were. We're in a drought.
yeah.
Fuck you. That's the craziness of
I
it.
just don't think they understand.
That's the
Like,
craziness of it. Well, no one understands that aspect of it,
yeah,
you
I think
know?
there's probably a few people that understand, and they're like, hey, whoa, 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 but then they go, oh, get out of here, dude. We need to make this look good on the Mercury
Well, dude,
News. You
yeah,
know what I mean?
totally. I
The
mean,
Chron-
it's like
yeah,
that they've created this drought. They've created
right.
the drought, and now they're blaming us for it. It's insanity.
And they talk about like generational floods and all this fucking shit.
Yeah.
And it's like, and I get it, because like there was before dams and before aqueducts, like there's a reason why, like, you know, you could, you could, there was a delta, right? There was
Yeah,
a
you
delta.
fucking posted up on a waterway.
Yeah, there was a
Like a lot of
delta.
the star
I
forts
mean,
are all built on
I
waterway.
remember, when I was a kid, there was like every other year there was a whale that fucking swam up the fucking delta.
Totally,
Hey,
people
it'd
freaked
get all the
out.
way up there, and they'd be like, "Save this thing," And so, like, I go, "Well, well, what the fuck is the whale doing up here, anyways, for no reason?" You know what I mean? Because
Totally.
the whale just wanted to go up there.
Well, no one wants to ask that question.
Yeah,
You
and the
know,
whale just wanted to go there. I
I
mean,
mean,
like,
yeah. Well, no one wants to ask that question. It's an anomaly. It's an anomaly with the narrative.
right,
Yeah, and there's so, dude, it's so funny. It's so funny because the more you just fucking dive in, everything you fucking call the narrative, anyone who calls a narrative is all speculation and fragmentation, you know? It's
Right,
just
yeah,
so
yeah.
fucking funny. It's so fucking
Yeah.
funny because there's a million people fucking arguing the law of gravity right now. There's a
Yeah.
million people arguing everything, but no one hears about that shit,
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah.
It's just like
Every other
fucking
every other year a whale would go up the fucking delta for no reason. What's this whale? What's this? You
Free
know, and
Willy.
I was
Free
just a little
Willy.
kid going, what the fuck is this whale doing? You know what I mean? Like, just wants to go up this fucking river and, you know, oh, it's lost. It's doing something, you know? And I'd be like, wow, that's so trippy. You know, like, you know, it's gonna die because of fresh water. And you're like, it's a mammal though.
I know. Free Willy, bro. Free Willy
Yeah.
is such a program.
I mean, they got so wild that Michael Jackson wrote a song about it, dude. You know what I mean?
Totally.